In this tutorial, we're going to talk about our last tool for this week, which is the type tool, and which we can get to by clicking on the T letter on our keyboard. Okay, what I'm going to do in this tutorial is two things. The first thing I'm going to do is just click once on my canvas, and then the second step is just to click and drag. Let's start with the first. So I'm going to click once right now, and you will notice two things happen. First of all, you will notice the text cursor blinking on your canvas, and you will also see that a new layer got created. So every time you use the type tool and you click on your canvas, a new layer of text is going to be created for you, and you will notice that it has the letter T, which means that this is a text layer. So since you see the text cursor blinking, it means it's ready to type something for you. So let's go ahead and write the word hello, for example. And I happen to have this color, this font size, and then this choice of Helvetica because I had chosen these options at the top left panel, if you notice. To change those options, I can select my whole word by holding down the Command key and clicking on the letter A. So select all is Command A. And then I can go ahead and change Helvetica to anything else, any other typeface. You can do that. You can also change the weight of your font from bold to regular to light and so forth. And then you can change the size by holding down this drop down or by using this shortcut. The shortcut is holding down the Command and Shift keys and then using the right caret to increase the size of your font and the left caret to decrease the size of your font. Now what if I want to change the color of this word from fuchsia to something else? While the word is still selected, I can go to this little box at the top in the panel at the top that says set the text color, and I can click on that and change to the color that I want. Let's say this nice turquoise blue, and then hit OK. And then the color it gets applied. To see the color though, we have to go to the move tool in order to deselect our word. Okay, so now let's take this word and position it at the top left corner of our canvas, and then let's go to the type tool again and now work on the second part of this tutorial. So what I want to do right now is, instead of clicking and releasing, I want to click and drag to create a selection of a square into which I will insert a paragraph or type my own paragraph. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, obviously, notice what happens in the layers panel. I'm going to click and drag. And as you can see, there's a selection of a square. Okay, and now when I release, you're going to see a new layer being created, even though I was on the layer of hello. So anytime you use the type tool over again, it creates a new layer for you. So you see again that the text cursor is blinking right here, and it means that it's ready to either allow you to type something of your own, like a random paragraph, and my paragraph will be constrained within this selection. So my letters won't go outside the boundaries of this selection. What I want to do obviously is not type something random, but choose a lorem ipsum paragraph. So if I Google lorem ipsum, I can choose a random paragraph, any paragraph, copy that, Command C to copy, and then come back to your Photoshop canvas, and obviously the text cursor is still blinking, and I can just hit Command V to paste that paragraph. Now obviously my settings are as such that the result is really chaotic. I can't read really, right? So that's because I have a big font and so forth. So let's select all this paragraph by doing Command A, so to select all, and then let's choose a smaller font size, like 30 points, or maybe even less, something like 24. Okay, now if my paragraph did not fit within this square, what I can do is just hover at the bottom and drag out the selection so that it's bigger, and then maybe I can even drag out from the right side so that I can fit in as much as I can from the paragraph. Okay, now let me click on the move tool to show you what happens. So this is what I have. What I can do to make this better is add some leading. Leading is actually the space between each line. And to find the leading, I can go to Window, Character. So this is the character window panel that is accompanied by the paragraph panel. By default, they open together. If you select paragraph or character, they will open together by default. Now here I can set the same settings as I could when I hit the type tool, like the typeface, the weight of the font, the size of the font, all of these options that we see on the top panel when we have the type tool selected, we can also manipulate from here. But the additional and very important aspect of this character panel is the leading, which we can change right here. Okay, so here it says set the leading. It's the second option from the top. Leading is again the space between each line. So 30 looks fine to me, but I want to show you what happens if I add some more leading, just for you to know. Let's say I change it to 36. You will see more space between each line. So now that you know where leading is and you will use it constantly, let's put it back to 30 because that was a good leading with regards to this font size. Okay, with regards to alignment, my text currently is aligned on the left, and if I wish to align it on the right, I can go to paragraph and then choose right alignment or center alignment or any of the other options. Now, I happen to be not a big fan of the justify alignments, like this one, for example. Let me show you what happens when you choose the justify all. Look at this last line, for example. This very big space between the words is really odd, and it's a mistake in graphic design. Look at this huge space after the full stop after the word source, this big space after lorem, and so forth. So it's not consistent. Spaces should be consistent between each two words. So I would choose the left alignment or the right alignment, depending on the design. Actually, with experience, you'll find that you're using either or. It depends on what you're doing. So for this exercise, I'm just going to choose the left alignment. And that's how this tutorial ends. Basically, remember that we use the type tool to either click once and write a word or a phrase, or click and drag to have a selection of a square into which we can insert a paragraph by typing it ourselves or pasting it from another source.